Hey, and another happy session. Last session, Azure Communication Services, we were talking about how the possibilities can be integrated for PSTN telephony. One is the session border controller, like the direct routing in Teams, to recap, and the other one is the Microsoft calling plans. Calling plans in the way as you assign it with Teams, but here is Azure calling plans. Similar license, but look the same. But let's have a quick look on how easy it is to set up. You just go to Microsoft Azure, pretty simple. You go to the resources, you set up your own resource environment, and then you will find the voice calling and PSTN capabilities, which are in the lower left part. And that's half of it already. Now the next is we need to configure the session border controllers. The session border controllers must have a full qualified domain name, which we enter here, like sbc.contoso.com, and the communication port. It can be another one, or it can be also 5056, or any other port which you might need to configure. That's important. Once this is done, don't forget the certificates, which are used for authentication, and the individual IP addresses, by the way. Same as we do for direct routing in Teams. So maybe you could even ask your workmates in case of you want to set it up. Furthermore, is the next. Soon the systems are configured and online. It will look like this. As you see, it's called direct routing. The tests we still have done with the preview version, but it's now fully available. And you have the online status, and that's actually it. Again, it needs to be applied with a certificate in regards to the TLS. And the last but not least thing is the routing. So which means you not have the chance only to have one single location, but you can even spread it across the globe, so to speak. Which means, give an example. We have a contact center in Frankfurt. We have another one anyhow in Kuala Lumpur, and one we have maybe in Atlanta. Meaning we need to normalize phone numbers and the routings behind it. Also, this is pretty easy. We have the routing capabilities, which are next to the session border controllers, which we have seen in the slide before. Then we say this route will be responsible for a normalized pattern. In this case, what we can see here, it means like it's the +1, so it's in US. And then we have the area codes of 425 and 206, and then followed by another 7 digits. And then you need on the right side here to choose the session border controller, which should listen to it. So if we have another incoming call, for example, say Malaysia, so it will start with +60, or maybe any other country or nation you like to have. In Germany, it's like D49. That can be used for the proper routing for in and outgoing calls, that will be normalized. I will also provide you a link in this video in the description below, where you can read on a blog of mine, on a pretty old one. I think it's 8 years old already, but I explained normalization rules in deep and so extensively that you might have nightmare dreams. Guys, that's it for setting it up. As you see, it's pretty easy, and now it's always up to you. Don't forget to read all that freaking documentation about the SDK and how you can implement it. It is not that weird. So easy application, can be easy programmed, but I show you in the next video on how you interchain and interconnect the different protocols, as well as I will also show you where you set up and where you initiate the touch from your application into the Azure Communication Services. And then it will be all up to you. Thank you. Good evening.